The Gamasutra job board is the most diverse, active and established board of its kind for the video game industry. Here is just one of the many positions being advertised right now. Location: Burbank, California. If conducting usability studies and analyzing survey data is your dream gig, Insomniac Games is looking for you. We are searching for a user experience researcher who's responsible for assisting in designing and conducting user experience research studies to support the development of product 2D designs and our user testing activities to contribute to product design. This person would conduct usability research and user experience tests to assess user responses to interface designs or methods including site layouts, site maps, navigation design, content inventories, information organization models, error handling and icons with a focus on specific game content. Balance and usability. Essential duties and responsibilities. Supervisory responsibilities. This job has no supervisory responsibilities. Application and experience. Please note, this is a temporary project hire role located in our Burbank studio. We anticipate the length of the project to be about 9 months. If this is the opportunity that you have been looking for, we do like to hear from you. Please use the link in this posting to submit your application directly. Thanks. Interested? Apply now. Whether you are just starting out, looking for something new, or just seeing what's out there, the Gamasutra job board is the place where game developers move ahead in their careers. Gamasutra's job board is the most diverse, most active, and most established board of its kind in the video game industry, serving companies of all sizes, from indie to AAA. Looking for a new job? Get started here. Are you a recruiter looking for talent? Post jobs here. This interview is part of our Road to EF series. You can find the rest by clicking here. So takes players to vast cities bathed in darkness, having players unveil their presence, histories, and story with light. Thomas Sharp, the actor at Summer Games, spoke to Gamasutra about their powerful student project, talking about the challenges of telling a story with place, how the game captures their own feelings as new artists, and how it captures a long mountain like joy. My name's Tom Sharp, and I am the director of Summer Games on Solo. Outside of a handful of small class projects, Solo is my first full game production. I got my undergraduate degree in game production at Drexel University, and was lucky enough to be one of the first students accepted into an experimental game incubator called the Entrepreneurial Game Studio. There, I was given the freedom, time, and team to develop my creative vision for Summer. Because we had not yet formed a strong creative direction for the studio, the concept started incredibly weak. We began with the imagery of carving through darkness as the foundation for the project's visuals and gameplay design. But, through years of iteration, we began to develop a more focused vision for the message we wanted to communicate in Solo, and what started as a top-down mobile strategy game evolved into a full 3D adventure game. Our goal at Summer is to create games that reflect upon our own important life experiences, and capture those feelings through gameplay. As a brand new team of artists, there's a ton of uncertainty and doubt about where to go and what to do with our lives. So, we decided to create a game about wandering through the dark and being lost in a mysterious world. But somewhere along the way you develop a sense of direction, and everything starts to make sense, which is a perfect reflection of the team's experience discovering our creative direction and artistic voice. We created the game in Unity, and use mode for our dynamic soundtrack implementation. We also use a handful of great assets, such as Reworld, that make cross-platform development much easier. We have spent a lot of time designing and testing environments that feel vast and open, while ensuring that players are not ever frustrated by the lack of direction. So many games let you know your objective right up front, and are built around the dexterity challenge of overcoming enemies or obstacles. Finding the balance between gameplay that feels open and mysterious versus frustrating or boring is a super tricky line to walk. One of the hardest challenges in making Soul has been figuring out how to tell our story without any real characters or dialogue. The primary objective of the story is to raise questions rather than provide direct answers. And our hope is that every player walks away with a different interpretation of the world. Because there are no characters or text to communicate the story, it puts a lot more emphasis on the environmental design of the world. Every area of a level has to have a reason to exist, both in the gameplay and narrative. We spent a huge amount of time talking about what narrative questions certain locations would address, and how we could express the backstory of the civilization by what is and is not in the world. From the very beginning, we note that the act of exploring had to have an interesting hook to stand alone as the game's core mechanic. The satisfying visual effect of painting with light that illustrates your progress through the world feels hypnotic and expressive. It's always interesting watching some players methodically combing over the levels to reveal every last corner, while others go straight to the key locations. I think it definitely scratches the same itch as mowing a lawn or vacuuming a room. In this 2019 DD Talk, lawyers Christopher Reed, Gregory Boyd, Mona Ibrahim, and Stephen MacArthur discuss the most important recent legal events and issues in the industry, and how they impact game developers. If you work in games, this is a talk you should see. Topics covered include the Fortnite litigation, Nintendo's stance on ROMs, the Gator privacy regulation, developer takedowns of streamer content, legal action against cheat distributors, and other legal topics. So if you missed seeing it live, take advantage of the fact that you can now watch it for free on the official DD YouTube channel. In addition to this presentation, THEGDC Vault and its accompanying YouTube channel offers numerous other free videos, audio recordings, and slides from many of the recent game developers conference events. And the service offers even more members-only content for DD Vault subscribers. Those who purchased all access passes to recent events, like DD Vault already, have full access to DD Vault, and interested parties can apply for the individual subscription via a DD Vault subscription page. Group subscriptions are also available. Game-related schools and development studios who sign up for DD Vault Studio subscriptions can receive access for their entire office, accompanied by contacting staff via THEGDC Vault Group subscription page. Finally, current subscribers with access issues can contact DD Vault technical support. Austin-based game studio Certain Affinity has announced plans to open a second development center in Toronto. The company is best known for its work as a co-developer on the Halo, Call of Duty, and Doom franchises, but is now looking to create its own original titles from scratch. As reported by the Austin Statesman, the movie has been financed with an $18 million development loan from Chinese company Liu Technologies, which acquired a 20% stake in Certain Affinity back in 2017. The news follows the recent expansion of Certain Affinity's studio in Austin, which was boosted with the addition of an event space and around 55 fresh hires. Company president and founder Max Hoberman said the new Toronto studio will initially house around 16 new staffers, and will allow it to tap into the city's various universities and game development programs, while laying down international roots. He also believes the expansion is essential if the studio wants to successfully transition to the games as a service model, as they will need more firepower to continue supporting titles post-launch. In the past, we primarily partnered with other developers as an extension of their internal teams, working on a specific subset of a game. Now, we are taking on all the functions of a game in its entirety, from concept to completion, explained Hoberman. We are also transitioning to develop games as a service. So after we ship a game, we will continue to develop new content and features for that game into the foreseeable future.